is Just Queen Wells, and welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of purchasing a home. So those of you who are new and just joined in, thank you so much for coming. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe so that you will know every time I upload a video, and more importantly, you will see the last segment of purchasing a home. So those of you coming back, girl, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I hope you appreciate and you're learning something from these segments. And if you want to see what's all about segment number 3, let's keep on watching. And segment number 3 is, what type of program should I be looking at? VA, FHA, conventional, and can I get assistance with closing costs? How much money do I need before I fill out that first loan application? So that's everybody's question most of the time. Is we've been working on our credit. We've been using a credit company to help us monitor our credit. If we had derogatory credit, we are working with a credit counseling service to pay off those debts. We've paid off those judgments. We've gone in and gotten our ratios below 40%, or at least at 40%. The next thing we need to know, we know how much house we can afford, so we know what we're looking at. Like I said in segment number 2, this is not your forever home. This is get my damn foot in the door, give me some real estate home. So that's how you have to look at it. Now, in number 3 is, what program should I be looking at? And can I get assistance with my closing costs? Can I get assistance with any closing cost assistant programs? Well, yes, you can. So let's first talk about conventional, because a lot of people like to go conventional. Now, I can tell you, if you have derogatory credit and you're working on that, conventional may not be for you, because you're going to have to put 20% down. Now, if you have 20% and you still got derogatory credit, girl, you need to have taken some of that money and paid some of those bills off. But if you, like I said, most people who have derogatory credit, hey, even people with 700 scores, don't necessarily go conventional because they don't want to pay that 20%. Conventional is the easy way to go. You put your 20% down, your ratios are in line under 40% or at 40, you're good to go. And you know how much house you can afford. Hey, as long as you have that 20% of the cost of that house. So if the house is $300,000, you need 20% of that as your down payment. That does not include your closing costs. It has nothing to do with it. Closing costs are separate. So if you're thinking that's all rolled in together, no. Closing costs are separate. 20% is just for that down payment. So you want to have that 20% down, then you want to have your closing costs rolled into that down payment. So 20% down, let's say that's $20,000, you're going to need maybe another $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in closing costs, depending on whether or not the person selling the house is going to give you any assistance. Not everybody does, so be prepared. Sometimes they say, I ain't giving you nothing to purchase the house. You on your own with closing costs. So that's conventional. FHA, girl, FHA has changed. FHA has gotten more lenient and sweet as long as the house is livable with no items that are going to do bodily harm, like peeling paint, a ceiling that has watermarks. It doesn't have stair rails or wiggly. Your appraiser is going to let you know what needs to be fixed. Some people will fix it, some people will not. FHA does not let you fix those things after you purchase the house. No, FHA guarantees the mortgage company that should you not pay your mortgage, they're going to pay us back. So that's what FHA basically does. They want to know that you can afford that house. They are more stringent on the documentation that we look at in order to get you in that house. So going FHA means all of those credit repairs that we've gone to, with credit monitoring, we know what our FICO score looks like, we've paid off those judgments, and we know exactly how much house we can afford. And our back-end ratios are mwah. FHA is for you. It's lenient as far as that is concerned. Now, FHA, you pay mortgage insurance. A while back, a couple of years ago, you used to be able to get to when you paid off your mortgage, you paid it down to a certain point that you were able to have that mortgage insurance removed. So that meant a $30, $40, $50, $124 payment was gone. It reduced your monthly payment. Yeah, sorry to say, FHA took that away. Yes, they did. You pay mortgage insurance for the life of the loan. Yep, that payment ain't going nowhere, girl. You're going to be paying that $147 till you refinance that house or you sell it. So that's how FHA has structured their program. So that's a downside and an upside because it adds on to the insurance, it adds on to the taxes, on to your monthly mortgage payment. So that's added on top of that. So if you're thinking about going FHA and you looked at segment number 2, you want to go ahead and add that mortgage payment right in with your liabilities, so you can get a true back-end ratio for yourself. So that's the FHA program. Now, if you want to know in more detail, I'm just kind of giving a rough idea of what FHA is. Some of the things on FHA have not changed, what their requirements are, what type of documentation you need. It's pretty much what I've already gone over with you guys. So just make sure you look at segment 1 and 2 so you know exactly what you're looking for, what you're going to do if you're going to go in with the FHA program. Your ratios are extremely important with that program. Now, VA, hello my VAs. I love doing VA loans. Let me tell you, because I get an opportunity to get a veteran into their home or their family into their home while they are off protecting us. So I am thrilled when I can approve a loan for a VA family. It is just heartwarming, and it's just I just can't tell you how great it is to be able to do that. Now for VA, what you want to be able to do is make sure that you have your documentation for your VA loan. So we want to know how much if you're receiving any type of VA benefits. So if you are, you want to make sure that you have that documentation together and it's in your purchase folder. You also want to have your certificate of eligibility. What we call this is COE. Now, normally a processor can pull your certificate of eligibility for you as long as we have the right information. Now for females, if you were in the service and your name was as a single and now you've gotten married, we want to know your single name and your married name, because when we go in to pull out your certificate of eligibility, we are going to need what name you used in the Army. Now, just to let you know, VA could care less. They go by Social Security number. Your mortgage company does not. We have to have the name match the Social Security number, and that certificate of eligibility has to have the same name that's on your loan. So knowing that up front, you know you're going to need your marriage certificate. So make sure you have a copy of that, because we're going to ask for it. And we want to know why there is a name difference on your certificate of eligibility versus how you filled out the application. So You can also get your certificate of eligibility in advance. We're also going to want to see your DD-214. Now, your DD-214, that's going to be your discharge papers. Get a copy of those, because we're going to want to know when you entered the Army or the Navy or any of the militaries. We're going to know that DD-214 is going to tell us what took place. It's also going to tell us if you had an honorable discharge or you were discharged for some other reason. Yes, it all matters how you were discharged. We want to know that information because we're going to have to see how much money VA is actually going to give you. Now, normally VA gives at least $36,000 for closing costs, prepaids, and all that good stuff. So you don't come in with the down payment. You don't have to have any of that money. VA says you have done your duty, we're gonna hook you up. So that all depends on your discharge. So you wanna have that DD-214, take a look at it so you know exactly what you're getting into. If you had an honorable discharge, some people have other types of discharge. I'm gonna list them over here so you just have an idea of what you're looking at. Now, also in the reserves, we're gonna be looking at how many points you have. Yes, my reserve people, thank you too for protecting us here at home. But we're gonna need to know how many points that you accumulated. So make sure that you are going in from your superior officer, both for military and for reserves. You want to get that certificate of good standing from your commanding officer or from the assistant that assists him. They'll be able to print you out that certificate of good standing. So you want to have that as well in your little booklet for purchasing a home. You want to go ahead and get that in advance. Now, sometimes the processor can reach out and explain to them what they need, but don't depend on that. Have all that stuff in advance. Your commanding officer's assistant will be able to get you that with absolutely no problem. Now, if you are still in the service, you're going to need a few different items. You're going to need your papers if you're transferring to somewhere else and you've decided that that's where you want to purchase a home. You're going to need your transfer papers to document where you're going to be transferring to. So you're going to need your orders. So you're going to go ahead and print your orders, and you're going to have those in your booklet as well. The orders are going to tell us where you're going to be stationed, what your job title is going to be, and it's going to tell us, yes, how much money you're going to make. So all of that information is normally included on your orders. And we're only going to need that if you already have a house and you're looking to purchase another house. VA allows you to have 2 houses if you move into a different area. That is the only way, but you have to have all your ties, your family, everybody has to be, you have to make a commitment to live in that area. You can't take your other VA home and rent that out. We know that trick. Just don't tell us anything. Processors are investigators. We investigate every single thing you tell us. We're going to be looking at it. We're going to scrutinize it. We're going to Google it. We're going to use every resource that we have, and we have a lot of resources. The mortgage company is sort of like the FBI. We're going to look at everything. We just do. It's our job to make sure that you are not stating information that is not true, because normally we're going to find it. We're going to use our resources to dig deep in there, right down to the vein to see everything. So with VA, I love VA loans. That goes for any other type of loan. Now with VA, of course, you get that 36,000 or so. Sometimes that can be doubled. It depends again on exactly what your DD-214 tells us, on how much we can actually, how much VA is going to go ahead and give you for your down payment and closing costs. Now, for FHA, I didn't talk about that. For FHA, you need 3% of the closing costs. Now, with that 3%, FHA doesn't care if the whole thing is a gift. It can be a gift, but you do have to put that 3% in. And again, that does not include your closing costs, girl. That's 3% towards that home. So you're going to need that, and that's of course 3% of the purchase price. So you want to make sure that you're looking at that, whatever home your value is, you're going to need to put 3% down. So you want to be saving at least, I would say at least $6,000 or so, maybe even more than that depending on the purchase price. You're going to need to have that 3%, plus you're going to need to have that closing cost. Of course, I would say anybody buying an FHA home, normally you can get the seller to give you some closing cost help, but you're going to have to come in with something. So get the 401k, start putting money aside, ask people, family, friends, whatever, do a house fund, put that money away somewhere where you are not going to spend it, and that you're saving it for the purchase of your home using an FHA program. Now, they have lots of different versions of down payment assistance programs, and we call those DAPs. Yes, every city, state has one, and they go by, depends on, some go by your income, some go by whether or not you are a public official. That means a teacher, a police officer, you work for the federal government. They all have different type of DAP programs that you are able to get closing cost assistance. And it helps you out a great deal. So when you're looking at that, make sure you're talking to your loan officer and you're telling them, hey, are there some DAP programs that I qualify for? Don't let that slip by. A lot of loan officers don't want to use those programs, and they are there for you. Now, mind you, some of them have a certain amount of money available, so you have to actually reserve those funds. So you want to make sure that you ask about those. You get a list of ones that you qualify for, and you want to let them know, girl, you want that free money. You want as much help as you can possibly get. You can also go online, which I would suggest, and look at some of those programs in your city as far as down payment assistance programs. Find out what they are so that you are informed and you know exactly what to ask or tell your loan officer that you're looking to do. So I would suggest, I'm in Arizona, of course. I'm going to just put some links up here for maybe a few cities, not all. If you're living in a city, you want to know how you would contact them about their down payment assistance programs, just leave me a message. I'll find out that information for you and give it to you so you can check those out. You can print or whatever some of the programs that you're interested in. Learn them. Learn what you need, what kind of credit score they require, what kind of ratios they require. All of them have different things that they require that you do or have, or the limits you need to be in. Some of them even have, for police officers, they have areas that you have to purchase in. So you want to look at those programs, of course. Now, that's it. That's all I'm having. So we're working on our credit. We're using a credit monitoring service. We're using a credit counseling service to get rid of those derogatory items. We are also looking at our ratios to determine how much house we can afford, and we're paying off any debt to bring down our ratios to at least below 45%. 45% or below. That's where you want to be. That's a great area to be as far as your ratios are concerned. You might have to get a part-time job, girl, to do that, but stop going out eating dinner unless a man is taking you and they paying for it. But all those things are encompassed in getting ready to purchase your new home. We have an idea that this is not our forever home, girl. This is to get your foot in the door home. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you go back to 1, 2, And look below for all the information that I went over today as far as FHA. FHA also has a site that can give you some general information. I will leave those links below. VA, I will also leave a nice list for you of things that you need to go ahead and get from your commanding officer. If you are still in the military, there are going to be certain things that you're going to need to do. And if you're VA, just leave me a DM and I will give you my email address, and we can talk one-on-one about what you need to be doing, and how VA is going to look at your loan purchase. And that goes for anybody. If you want some direct information, just leave your email below. I'll reach out to you by email and we can go over your situation with you. Again, I've had 30 plus years of being a processor. I've been a loan officer and I've been an underwriter, so I know exactly what you need to do in order to get into your home. We have one segment left, and that segment is going to be on how to work with your loan processor and about filling out your loan application. And that's the last segment I'm going to be doing. Again, just leave any comments below, additional information, all that good stuff. As just a Queen Wells. I love you guys. I hope you enjoy all these segments on how to purchase a home, because I'm going to get you into your first home. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.